This is a great day. This is a tremendous project for us, and it's nice to kind of have it where we're wrapping up with it. Everyone, I'm going to say this 3 times, so forgive me, but everyone understands that the national issue for us, one of the top ones, is workforce development, keeping students in high school, training our workforce, making ourselves competitively. There's not a lot we can do locally about the Middle East or what's happening with other situations, but we can do something locally about workforce development, and we are. There's some challenges that we have with the building as you walk through it. I hope you liked it. There's obviously new equipment that is ordered that's not here yet, but we need equipment in this building. It needs to be modern and completely up to date. And so we've got people here like the president of the community college system that will help us with that, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But welcome today. Thank you for what you do. I'm going to ask Brian Wilson to say a word. Brian and I will be exiting in just a minute. Then Darren Waugh and Randy Hollifield, who are the chairman of the trustees in the college, will speak. But we're going to be ready to greet the governor and have him come in. He's going to do a very quick walkthrough of the facility before. Brian?
As we began this process, probably about 2 years ago, developing a community action plan and planning group to try to formulate what were the critical issues and what would be the best expenditure of funding for grant that Golden Leaf was offering for us. What happened or evolved as a result of the efforts in our community is kind of a coming together of many, many groups, and I'll allude to it later when we have a formal presentation. Elected officials, community leaders, the education community, the manufacturing sector came together to put together our ideas on what we could do to address the challenges in our community to have a better and more well-prepared workforce. The industry folks have really stepped up and are more engaged and have been more engaged in this process than anything that I can recall in my 40 years of being a community college educator. So thanks to you, we have a very nice facility. It's just the beginning, however. We still need enhancements. We still have a challenge to try to equip it to be the latest and greatest. But there are a lot of people in this room that will be thanked later in our formal presentation that have a lot to do with what has happened here. And we'll have some special guests at a later point in time when the governor is here that we would like to introduce to you that you may or may not know. But again, thank you. Many of the people in this room were instrumental in this, not only in the design, but putting together letters of support for us to make cases for equipment enhancements. And the only problem you created for me is that a lot of my employees are envious as to the facilities that we have here. In particular, the female employees are really envious of the bathrooms that we have. These are the nicest on our campus. So again, thanks to many of you who are here. The reason a lot of you were invited is because you were instrumental in this. And this is really, truly a partnership like I've never seen in this community in my many years of living here. So again, thank you. And thank you for being here today. And luckily, the governor will be a little early, so we'll probably get done faster than we anticipated. For those of you who had to run out of the shops, because that's what the governor's security had asked for, we will be doing full tours after the outside ribbon cutting presentation that we'll have guided tour folks to take you through the facility if you hadn't gotten to see everything. But again, thanks for coming.
I'm Darren Waugh. I'm chair of the trustees, and on behalf of the trustees, I would like to say welcome. As I stepped in the building this morning to see it filled with people, it wasn't too long ago that we walked through this building and toward the property, and it was just an empty shell. And to see what everybody has done and the partnerships that contributed to create this economic and training tool here, we want to say welcome and please utilize this facility and help us utilize this facility. Thank you.
On behalf of the McDowell County Board of Commissioners, I'd like to welcome everyone here today. And I won't talk about the building a whole lot. I'll say something about industry. Now, how many industry folks we got out here today? Raise your hand. Hi. All right. Thank each one of you for showing up. Now, let's how many folks we got here from Baxter today? Thank you for coming. And I'll tell you why. I worked at Baxter for 32 years, from 1972 to 10 years ago when I retired. So I'm an industry person. I understand what it takes out here in the industry when it comes to hiring the right person, getting them trained, and keeping them in the workforce and getting them to work every day. I went through that for 32 years. And another little thing. Ben, I knew that we was going to honor industry today. I thought, now, how would I do that? Well, you know, out here in the industry, for 20 years and 25 years and 30 years of service, most time you get some kind of gift or a token. So I got my 25-year or 20-year ring on today, which I haven't worn ever. I had to find it. Okay, here's my 15-year tie tack. Got a little diamond in it, I think, or quartz, or I don't know. But anyway, I put it on. And my 25-year watch. Okay, never been out of the box. I got it way back in the 90s. It was the most modern thing out then. It's a Bulova Accutron, and it's run with a battery. And I thought, well, the time's not right. I'm going to have to run by and get me a battery. Well, they put a battery in, it didn't work, but I got it on anyway. All right. So, you know, this is what I'm doing today to honor industry. So. But we have this nice facility here. You know, it's built for students, but it's also, we expect, now I expect industry to use this building. That's something I expect. Utilize it. We've got a lot of money in it, a lot of time, and it's a real nice facility. So it's here to be used 24 hours a day if we can use it. I would say that if every project in the county went as good as this project went, we'd have no worries whatsoever. It's just England builders, all the engineering, everything. This project really went good and smooth, and we didn't hit all those stumbling stones that you see in a lot of projects out here. So, thank you a lot. Appreciate you being here.
Anybody else want to say anything? Don't have any jewelry. Huh? Don't have any jewelry. Oh, don't have any jewelry? You can borrow some of mine.
But the governor, he ought to be in here in a little bit. He was first thing he'll do is take the tour and then come on.
if you would, if you go ahead and get your seats, and the governor's he's coming down the hall. He's about finished with his tour. Thank you.
Okay. Make sure his is good. His good. I hate for mine's bad. I'll switch with it. Yeah. That would be good. Where'd you work down in Baxter? What area?
Everywhere in the plant.
Really, everywhere?
Yes, except maintenance. If it's manufacturing area, I'd send it.
Wow. You work all the shifts and all the
Every one
places?
of them, yes.
You do have a good understanding of what it takes.
I literally hired hundreds of people, and many of them through temp service. And I bring in 20, for example, and sometimes 3 would be gone at first grade. And by the end of the week, you may have 60% left. And then after a month, you're in 3 or 4. And that's the good ones. You keep them, and you go through the process every week. I just got used to it. And it didn't take me very long. So, I can tell you, the ones that can't stand, who's serious.
Good life skills is the key, too. I mean, a lot of them come in, they don't know how to be on time.
One time I had 700 employees.
Wow.
I had 13 supervisors and about 3 or 4 clerk type people, and kept me off. You don't hardly find plants that big anymore, do you?
No. Yeah, really, it's too big of a plant. I mean, to have a culture, real culture, you know, to maintain a store.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm under dress.
You want to borrow my time?
I need it.
There's us.
Started, Darren.
Again, we'd like to welcome everyone here, and especially like to welcome you, Governor. We appreciate you coming in. We are very pleased to have you all here. We're very pleased with the team members that put all this together, the leadership roles, the visionaries that place this facility here for us, and the economic development that'll come out of it. We're excited about what's going to happen with the community. We're excited about what's going to happen with our students, the school system, and what this may mean for Marion and McDowell County. And again, welcome each and every one of you.
Thank you. I would also speak a little bit louder. I'll echo the welcome that you just received from Darren, and do want to thank everyone for being here. We especially want to welcome Governor Pat McCrory for his taking time out of his busy schedule to be with us today. This is truly a nice event. I've got a lot to do in about 5 or 6 minutes, so I'm going to speak quickly, but let me introduce, if I may, the county commissioners that are here. You've got their names that you've seen on the board behind me. But David Walker, and up here Randy Hollifield, who is currently chairman. We have Joe Kaler. Mr. Kaler is a trustee and a county commissioner. Michael Lavender, and I do not see Barry McPeters. Let me introduce three previous commissioners that were here when this decision was made. Dean Buff is here. Andy Webb is here. And Josh Dobson, who is our House member. So Josh, I'll go ahead and introduce you as a member of the House. Senator Heiss is here. Senator, we want to recognize you as well and thank you. Would the trustees of the college please stand? And we want to thank all of you. Appreciate it. Would the members of the Economic Development Board please stand? Thank you. Would the members of City Council please stand, and the mayor and the city manager? And that caught the town of Old Fort as well, Mayor. So thank you for that. Today is a great day. One of the top challenges facing this nation, this state, and this county is workforce development, is high school dropout rates, and producing good workers for our people, for our citizens, and for our community, transitioning our workforce. In 2011, McDowell County purchased this site. We paid $2.6 million for it. We have spent about $4 million in upfitting this facility that you see, and about $3 million of that came from grants. The community college was landlocked, had room for one building site left, and we purchased this, and again, it's 400,000 square feet of building, and we've got 50,000 square feet of it that was dedicated for this skill center that you see. The move freed up 22,000 square feet of space on the main campus. So you have got 3,000 square feet of space that has been generated as a result of this. The facility generates income. In addition to the $3 million worth of grant money that we've received, the facility, McDowell County leases the remaining space out, and we're generating in excess of $400,000 a year off of it. So it's kind of one of those win-win situations for everyone. I need to recognize some donors that gave in addition to this project. Golden Leaf and Dan Gerlach. Dan will have some sentences to make outside. Golden Leaf, he can explain what he does, but it's basically tobacco settlement money. There was a grant for $2.15 million that the community received that went into this facility, and that was the catalyst for the whole thing happening. So, Dan, thank you very much. Is Olivia here from Appalachian Regional Commission, ARC? Anyone from ARC? The Appalachian Regional Commission put $400,000 into this facility in two different grants that the county and the community college received. Anyone from the Cannon Foundation here? The Cannon Foundation, I believe the number was $100,000. It may have been $125,000, but they made a sizable contribution towards this. I know I saw Duke Energy and Bill. Bill? Oh, hey, Robin. Oh, you're much better. Hey, Robin. Duke Energy made, I believe, a $240,000 contribution. I'm subject to always being corrected as county manager, as you guys know. In McDowell County, we purchased the property and did $1.5 million towards the project. So again, the county commissioners, I can't say enough about having 5 business like people to work for as elected officials. You have no idea how nice that is. Of course, we had Mr. Kaler serving on both boards, at the same time, and he made sure that it was shepherded through both sides. So Mr. Kaler has done a lot as well. It's a very positive project. I'm going to end with this. In a way, who cares where we are? Who cares what we've done? Where are we going? What does all this mean? That's really what I'm already in my mind is just going through and thinking about. And there's really 4 things that hit me about this. And I'm not really calling you out on the carpet. If I am, I'm doing it nice and with a smile. I don't mean any harm. But 1, challenging our community college and our public school system to produce the product that we need in this facility. We've got the walls, we've got the facility, but we've got to collaborate in ways that we've not even done before or thought about. That's 1. We're well on our way with that, but I think we've got a lot to do. 2, equipment. As you walk through the facility, the thing that hits me about the facility is that the equipment is dated, and there is some new equipment here, and there is new equipment that's been ordered. There's 3 new CNC machines that are not delivered yet, but as you walk through, it would be nice if we had new modern equipment, and I'm looking at Josh, and I'm looking down here at our community college president statewide and our governor, and just saying, having the equipment in here would be fantastic. And again, I'm not being rude in any way. 3, let me tell you what we want to do here, and I'll be quick. We want a 4-year engineering program operating out of this facility. There are people in this room that can help us get that. That's what we want. We want Western Carolina University sign out there on the interstate. We want a 4-year engineering program so that our existing industry doesn't have the problem with recruitment, so that our citizens don't have to drive an hour and a half away to obtain that engineering degree. So 3rd goal, and we're on our way with this. We've had them here, we've had them on site, and we're talking to them. So that's 3. And 4, I return back to my friend Dan Gerlach with Golden Leaf. Our 4th goal, we have submitted another Golden Leaf grant. It is sizable, and we want to do 2 things with it. We want to grade sites as we come in to the facility, and we have set aside money in that for the recruitment of Western or some other university, so that we have a university presence in this building. So those are the 4 things that we want to do and where we're going. Again, my absolute thanks for everyone being here today. Great day. Thank you very much.
Well, I'm Mark Early, plant manager at Baldor here in McDowell County, and I was very impressed by Chuck's agenda. Being from manufacturing, he was on at 3:02 p.m. and he's going to go to 3:07 p.m. and I have 5 minutes to go to 3:12. By the way, you took 7.5 minutes, Chuck. But I like the planning. You got a plan. But Chuck asked me to come up and introduce the members of the Universal Steering Committee. Before I do that, I want to make a few comments on behalf of all of industry in McDowell County. I think if you've been on the tour already and had a chance to look through the facility, you'll agree with me it's an impressive facility for sure. It also sends a clear message that we're standing inside of a furniture factory that used to be very viable not too long ago, really about 15 years ago. But also sends a clear message that manufacturing is still alive. Furniture is gone for the most part, but there are still career tracks in manufacturing in McDowell County. We also recognize that this large modern space, just like Chuck said, is only one component of our overall strategy. We also need to continually seek funding for additional equipment, more modern equipment, emerging technologies to train our future employees with. And I think the biggest component is, the biggest challenge we have is to relentlessly execute our marketing plan to recruit and attract students at an early age, middle school age, to consider manufacturing as a career track for them. Because we have one simple objective. We don't want the availability of skilled labor to restrict the rate of growth for existing manufacturers, and we certainly don't want to deter the recruitment of prospective new manufacturers. So I brought a special guest with me here today, Ricky Benfield. Ricky, if you would stand up just briefly and let everybody see your face. Thank you, Ricky. Ricky started at Baldor in 2007 and started part-time on second shift while he's still a senior in high school here at McDowell County. And he became interested in machining, and upon graduation he was hired full-time at Baldor and promptly entered school here at McDowell Tech in the machining program. And while working, he earned his diploma in machining here at McDowell Tech. He also completed the North Carolina Department of Labor apprenticeship for CNC machining in 2013. And he has a sustainable and rewarding career ahead of him because he took the initiative to get the skills that he needed to be successful in manufacturing. So thanks, Ricky, for being that great example for us. And we simply need more Rickies, right? We need more people coming through the program so that we have an opportunity to hire them in manufacturing in the future to support our growth. So. At this time, Ricky, if you would come up and make a few I'm just playing with you. We were threatening with that on the way over here, and he turned white, and I said, So we would certainly, industry would like to thank Chuck Abernathy, McDowell Tech, and everybody else for engaging industry to be a part of this solution early on. You know, I was talking before the meeting that probably there's very few counties in the state that has the collaboration we've experienced on this project and day to day as we do business in this county, and we really appreciate it for over 18 years with Baldor. At this time, I'd like to recognize the steering committee. If you would, please briefly stand as I call out your name. From McDowell County, Chuck Abernathy, Randy Hollifield, David Walker. From McDowell Technical College, Brian Wilson, Sid Hockelroad, Darren Waugh. From McDowell County School Board, Terry Frank and Mark Garrett. City of Marion, Steve Little, Bob Boyette, Juanita Doggett. From industry, Rodney Tilson, Jim Kuhn, Chad Haas, and Kenny Green. From the McDowell Economic Development Association, Butch Justice and Joy Shuford. And from JobLink, Jerry Broom. And we had tremendous support from other county resources, Ashley Wooten. Thank you, Ashley, and Ron Harmon. And certainly, last but not least, Harriet Smith. So give the committee a round of applause for what they've done.
Again, I'd like to welcome everyone to this very special event today. We're quite excited about the future of McDowell County and quite pleased on how this project has turned out. We're very particularly pleased to have with us today Governor Pat McCrory to help to dedicate the building. This project is the type of project that we know that he has very special interest in. Governor, he cares about employment, cares about business, and he cares about having a strong North Carolina economy. This project is good for McDowell County, also great for the state. Governor McCrory was elected governor in 2012. He has worked to improve North Carolina in three key areas. Number one, the economy. Number two, education. Three, efficiency in state government. He's had some pretty tough decisions to make in his first 2 years in office. He's signed historic tax reform into law, reducing personal and corporate income tax, eliminating many of the loopholes that was out here. These policies has caused the economy to improve and unemployment to drop. He's supported transportation reform that funds projects based on their need. He has created a teacher advisory committee and created the Center for Safer Schools to protect North Carolina students. The governor has worked hard to make government more efficient and to streamline information systems. Governor McCrory's focus on service reflects his lifelong dedication to improving the lives of others, a fact that was so evident to the people of Charlotte, the Queen City, who elected him mayor for 7 times. It's 5, 2, 7. Governor McCrory has been married to his wife Ann for 25 years, and jointly the couple have a Labrador dog named Mo. That's a pretty good name. I like that.
See him tomorrow.
Again, we appreciate the governor being in McDowell County for this great occasion. And join me in giving the Honorable Governor Pat McCrory a super McDowell County welcome.
Thank y'all very much. Thank y'all very much. Let me just say this. McDowell County gets it. You get it. But not only do you get it, you're doing it. And that's what it's all about. And to see this team effort between all the different government entities, among all the partnerships in private sector, is the model, not only for the rest of the state, but for the rest of the nation. And this group of individuals in this room ought to be very, very proud of themselves. You know, I have a basic philosophy, and that is this, and I think my members of the House and Senate, who I'm proud to work with in the front row, agree with this. And that is this: we want to help those who can't help themselves. I just went down to the mental health hospital down the street, and there's some people there who cannot help themselves right now. They're going through very, very tough times, and we need to do everything we can to help those people, right? It could be in our family, it could be anywhere, and we're doing just that. But there are others that we need to encourage to help themselves. And the best way to do that is to teach them a skill that they then can go help them and their family with. And that's what you're doing right now. And myself and my colleagues in Raleigh during the past year and a half have had to make some tough decisions. And one of the toughest decisions which followed both those philosophies is this. One is we decided not to extend unemployment compensation, the only state in the nation not to do that, because we owed the federal government $2.5 billion of debt. Most people you didn't read about that, did you? When I came to office, we owed the federal government $2.5 billion for unemployment that we borrowed from the federal government. Well, we had a decision. Do we increase that debt to $3 billion, or do we try to lower that debt and try to encourage people to get skills and take jobs that are needed right now in North Carolina, and to encourage more jobs in North Carolina? We decided to take that path. And so we did not extend unemployment. But we also took two paths to that. One is we wanted to pay off our debt, and I'm proud to report that by next year, that $2.5 billion will be paid off. We're below $600 million right now, so the cost of doing business in North Carolina will be even less by next year, because you're the ones paying that debt, not us. You're paying that debt. And the reason we want you to do that, we want to pay off that debt, is we want you to return that money back to capital and hiring people and giving to these great causes right here. This is what it's all about. But we also want to initiate training programs and educational programs that tie directly to what employers need. Because the major piece of feedback that Scott and I constantly get, and I'd like to thank Scott with the community college system. He's been a great partner ever since I've been governor. And Scott, it's great to have you here at this table. You deserve a lot of the credit for developing these partnerships. And that is this, is that employers were coming to me and saying, I want to expand, I want to grow, but there's a skills gap. We heard it so much that we did a study. My NC Works program did a study recently. We just got the study back about 6 weeks ago. 40% of the employers in North Carolina are telling us that they have a skills gap regarding finding talent to fill the job openings that they have right now. And guess where those openings are? Exactly what you're addressing in this building. Machinery, electronics, technical equipment, fixing things, repairing things, building things, innovating things. That is where the skills gap is not only North Carolina, it's across the nation. The report did not surprise me because it just reiterated what you've been telling me all along. So what Scott and myself and the universities and legislature are attempting to do, and Dan, I'd like to thank you for your work in this, very much so. You've been a great partner with us and your board. And that is this, is that we've got to connect commerce and education. They can't be in two different silos. And where commerce, the companies are complaining and education is complaining on the other side, we're bringing them together. Well, McDowell County, y'all are leading the way. You're not only just coming together, you're developing a strategy to make it happen and revitalizing a building
which was vacant and a blight in this county, and now you've revitalized this and recycling this building into an educational institution which will help get people jobs and careers. And I firmly believe the other part of this equation, which we've all got to work on, because for the Sharon Decker, my Commerce Secretary, who's from Rutherfordton, where we have very high unemployment, still, even though we've had one of the farthest drops in unemployment in the country during the last year and a half, we still have pockets that we've got to deal with, including this area. But Sharon Decker frankly says this, is that we have got to do this connection. And that's what it's all about. And if I can now, with Sharon Decker, and we're recruiting some major companies for this region and other regions of the state, the number one question they're asking us is, can you find the talent? And they know whether we can or not. In fact, I'll give you an example of one company down in Alamance County recently that we're recruiting. You know what they did to find out whether we were telling the truth or not, whether we had the talent? They put ads in the newspaper before they did their decision to see what kind of resumes they'd get. And they did it in the other 3 competing areas. Now, I caught wind of that early, that they were going to do that. And I let the community college know in that area. And we swamped them with resumes. But we had the talent, the qualified talent, and that's what won the race, was the talent. And I just want to let you know, I want to thank you for helping Sharon and I and our team in economic development, because I can see us bringing in potential recruits now and company presidents and manufacturers and say, I'll prove that we have the talent. Let me show you the class of 2015 and 16 and 17 right out of this building. And the concept of also moving in engineers and having that merger between technical engineers, because it takes a combination of both with most of the companies we're recruiting. They're looking for technical and engineering right now, and IT. And to see this equipment, you're hitting a home run. McDowell County is hitting a home run. And I just, as governor, I want to say thank you on behalf of the state of North Carolina. I'm impressed. I don't know what the heck I'm supposed to say outside another speech. I'm ignoring my speech. They wrote one speech for me. But I do want to say one other thing, is that we need to reward the community colleges that are putting their money into this type of training, because the community college system was originally designed, Governor Scott and others way before me, to support industry. And we cannot move away from that. But the dilemma is, and my Senate and House members clearly recognize this, and one piece of legislation, our budget, that Ralph and others supported and helped implement, was this, is that we were rewarding community colleges and giving them money based on how many students they have, not the results of what they learned and the results of them getting jobs. And the dilemma is, if we only pay based on how many students you have, the community colleges are going to be encouraged to give the cheaper courses that don't require the capital investment or the higher paid instructors, which technical training requires. And we're changing that whole philosophy again. It's results-oriented, not input-oriented. It's results-oriented. And you're going to see some incredible results, Mr. President. And I'll tell you, to have someone who's been here for over 30 years lead this changed institution, you've got to give your president a round of applause, too. Because a lot of people just wait. You know, I've been here 30 years. No, that's innovation. And to see this change is quite remarkable. And the only other thing I request of all of us is we've got to get into our middle schools and our high schools. And we've got some programs we're going to be implementing. Bring them here and let them use this equipment. And that's exactly what you're going to do, because if we don't reach out to the middle school and high schoolers who have been hearing for generations now that manufacturing is dead and other industry, agriculture is dead. No, manufacturing and agriculture are going to get us out of this recession. And we're going to grow because we have niches of quality. And now manufacturers are looking for quality talent, not volume of talent, but quality of talent. And that's what this is all about. I want to just say, God bless each one of you. I admire you. Thanks to the private sector entities that supported this. We need more. Did you hear that? We need more because we're all strapped. But Dan, thank you for your help, and thank you for the leadership in your educational and county and state government and city government also. God bless each one of you. It's an honor to be a part of this great ceremony, and let's make it work. Now the hard part is implementation. Right, Mr. President? The ideas are great. The building's great. Now let's implement and execute. God bless each one of you. Thank you.
Okay, well, let me introduce real quickly Steve Bush, our Chamber of Commerce Director, who has a presentation to make to the Governor.
Thank y'all for being out here today, Governor. It's an honor to have you here. We're thankful.
I'm glad you didn't wear a tie like
I
that.
never wear a tie, sir, so I was
that.
glad to see you do the same. And when you had your jacket unbuttoned, I decided to do the same, so
Right,
we're
right,
cool and casual. Here in McDowell County, you'll find that we do have a lot of collaboration. It's the Chamber of Commerce. We're happy to be a part of that. But you'll notice that we have tons of quilt blocks all over our county that show the history, the culture of who we are and what we are. But on behalf of McDowell County, we'd like to give you what we call Carolina Donning. This is the only one of its kind, strictly for you, with the flag flying in the back and the mountains donning here in western North Carolina. It is a gift on behalf of McDowell County that is produced by our very own McDowell County Quilt Trail, Mike and Jill Lucas, who are in the crowd. If they'll raise their hands real quick. Yes. So on behalf of us, sir, thank you very much, and thanks for having us.
On behalf of the state of North Carolina, I accept this, and I will put it on the fireplace mantle in the governor's office, 1841 governor's office, and proudly display McDowell County in the governor's office so everyone has a chance to see it. Thank you very much.
That is beautiful.
Chuck?
That is gorgeous.
Yeah, without further ado, my president of the Chamber of Commerce, Ms. Jan Allison, our vice president, Ms. Amy Stroud, will pull a ribbon. And Governor, if we could get you and Chuck, we'll give you the scissors. And we carry our very own big scissors here in western North Carolina.
Can we put the commissioners up?
And the commissioners and all them behind us. Yes, commissioners, trustees, donors, please come join us behind the ribbon. Mayor, city council, all the big important people, including whoever. I don't care. Chuck, you need to be with. Y'all let them hold it. It'll work. Let go of the ribbon.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're not wearing it for preservation, I understand.
Okay. All right, yes. Chuck, you want to ask tours? You want to ask tours?